Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Delaney, and this is where I dive into the topics I can't stop thinking about. This is a topic that has literally been discussed into oblivion, but it's also something that's endlessly fascinating to me. So I'm going to throw my opinion into the ether. Do with that what you will. Today, we're diving into multi-level marketing, also known as why the girl who was mean to you in high school thinks she's an entrepreneur now. Buckle up. Multi-level marketing, or MLM, as I'll be referring to it in this video, is basically capitalism's version of a chain letter, except instead of angry emails from your uncle, you get roped into buying $800 worth of essential oils. It's also known as network marketing, relationship marketing, and totally not a pyramid scheme marketing. The basic idea is pretty simple. You buy stuff from a company, you sell it to your friends, you recruit your friends to also sell it, and before long they recruit their friends, and then their friends, and then their friends, and then their friends, and eventually you've alienated your entire family group chat. So in MLMs, your money doesn't come from selling shampoo or makeup or leggings or whatever. It comes from the dream of selling shampoo or makeup or leggings or whatever. The US Federal Trade Commission estimates that at least 99% of MLM participants lose money, but the 1% does great. Just like the 1% of Olympic hopefuls, lottery players, people trying to be YouTuber. If you ask an MLM recruiter, success is always right around the corner. You just have to hustle harder. Buy a starter kit that costs more than your rent. Attend endless motivational conferences where the only thing growing faster than your credit card debt is your existential despair. They'll show you pictures of people on yachts, smiling, tan, not holding any actual products, because a small secret is the real product isn't skincare or diet shakes. It's hope. Hope sold wholesale, bottled, and marked up 300%. Companies like Amway, Herbalife, Monats, Young Living, they don't sell goods. They sell maybe if you believe hard enough, it'll work. In her book, Hey Hun, Emily Lynn Paulson says, quote, "They don't exist because millions of stay-at-home moms are just dying to sell beauty products. They exist because those women feel lonely, trapped, and bereft of other solutions. And if it doesn't work, it's your fault for not believing hard enough. It's a classic abuse tactic, now with a free tote bag." ASMR. So here's a quick visual. Imagine a pyramid. Now imagine a legal team filing down the sharp edges and calling it network marketing. In countries like China, MLMs have been straight up banned as pyramid schemes, but in the US, they're a $35 billion industry. Why? Because they claim hand over heart that product sales are the focus, not recruitment. No one's really bothered to look into that any further. In reality, the sales mostly happen inside the pyramid to other recruits desperate not to drown. It's like joining a sinking ship where your job is to convince your friends the ship is actually a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. MLMs love to sprinkle a little bit of cult lingo in. They use special jargon like upline, downline, Royal Crown Diamond, mandatory positivity, saying no negativity allowed, requiring mandatory purchases, such as $200 a month to stay active, and in classic cult behavior, friendly rhetoric like we're all entrepreneurs here, we're all in this together. Add in a charismatic leader, a few Facebook Live sermons, and suddenly you're explaining to your cousin why she needs to remortgage her house for a lifetime supply of leggings. Critics have pointed out that the loyalty demanded by MLMs eerily mirrors cult indoctrination, which, to be fair, finally explains why your former coworker is now using the words abundance mindset unironically. So here's some of the things MLMs use to get you stuck. 1, love bombing. You're special until you're not. The minute you sign up, it's like being crowned prom queen at an MLM high school you didn't even know you attended. Everyone's in your DMs. "I'm so proud of you, babe. I can't wait to watch you crush it. You're such a boss." You're not just selling skincare or candles, you're living your best life now, provided you also Venmo them $499 for your entrepreneur starter kit. This is tactical. They shower you with love early, hook you emotionally, and make it harder to walk away later. It's the classic abuser playbook. 2 is victim blaming. So you're 6 months deep into this MLM, you've spent $2,000, you've made $83. At this point, any normal company would say, hey, maybe the system's broken. Not MLMs. They say, are you sure you're giving it 110%? Maybe you just need a more positive mindset. Maybe you need to push through the negativity and buy the $800 leadership coaching package. In short, it's never the scam's fault. It's your fault for not scamming harder. They gaslight you until you're doubting basic math. Sure, I lost $5,000 last year, but that's just part of the journey. That's what they want you to say. Three, isolation. Cut out the haters. Friends are expressing concern, families asking you tough questions. They're now classified as dream stealers, toxic energy, people who just don't get the vision. MLMs teach you to burn your own social support system to the ground, then sell you a new one made entirely of broke wellness coaches. You're expected to only hang out with other refs because outsiders don't believe in you. And also because outsiders keep pointing out you're slowly becoming a walking LinkedIn inspirational quote. For endless goalpost moving. Success is a mirage in MLMs. You finally hit that milestone they promised would change your life. They hand you a certificate printed on a Staples printer and say, amazing job, now double it, triple it, 10 times it. You got this, girl. The bar keeps moving, like a sadistic fitness coach, but instead of chasing your perfect body, you're chasing imaginary ranks with names like Platinum Ultra Diamond Influencer or Crown Triple Ambassador. The trick is simple. You're almost always winning, but not quite. You just need to put in a little more work, just one more $300 training weekend, just a few more hours cold DMing high school acquaintances who still think you're mad at them. Number 5 is manufactured scarcity and the fear of missing out. Get in now or die broke. Every MLM relies on manufactured urgency. This opportunity is once in a lifetime. This bonus expires tonight. Only the first 50 action takers will get access. It's the modern equivalent of a late night infomercial, but instead of a NutriBullet, you're panic buying access to a downline that already hates you. They want you desperate, they want you rushed, and they want you panicked enough to sign paperwork without reading it first. Because the more you think, the faster you realize selling diet shakes to your old sorority sisters was never going to make you a millionaire. Number 6 is trauma bonding. Sounds dark. Once you're broke, depressed, and isolated, that's perfect for MLMs. They swoop in again. We know how hard it is. We're a family here. They invite you to mindset retreats for $799 plus airfare, where you can trauma bond with all the other financially devastated recruits. The worse you feel, the deeper you stay, because walking away would mean admitting that you were scammed. And nobody wants to feel like a fool after losing $5,000 in a year of their life to a business opportunity that mostly involved trying to sell $40 essential oil rollers to your dental hygienist. They don't just build a sales force, they build a psychological cage, step by step, month by month, until the only way you measure your worth is by how many friends you've tricked into buying whatever it is you're selling. This isn't entrepreneurship, it's emotional warfare with merchandise. The overpriced leggings or whatever are just the merch table at the exit. All right, let's check in with some of the industry's greatest hits, the Hall of Fame of MLMs that think consumer protection lawsuits are just a suggestion. Young Living, the essential oil empire that claims its products are so pure they could basically resurrect you. They claim their therapeutic grade oils allegedly promise to boost your immune system, clear your chakras, and cure an array of health issues. Unfortunately, they couldn't protect Young Living from a few minor inconveniences, like FDA warnings for claiming their oils could cure and federal guilty pleas for illegally trafficking endangered plant species, and a charming internal culture where executives were allegedly cosplaying as doctors without the burden of medical degrees. Up next is Monat. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this. I've heard it a couple different ways. This is the hair care MLM whose main contribution to the world was teaching people what alleged chemical burns and unexpected bald patches looked like in real time. After months of user complaints about hair loss, scalp sores, and lawsuits flying all over the place, Monat settled into its natural niche, aggressively denying wrongdoing, blaming users for detox symptoms, like when you're detoxing and your hair is falling out because your body is healing, and getting sued repeatedly for allegedly selling hair care products that left customers with severe hair loss and a variety of health problems. Next up is Vector Marketing, aka Cutco Knives. If you ever went to college, you know about this. Vector is where capitalism meets adolescence at gunpoint. They say, hey, high schools, do you want to make big money in your summer before college? Just sell knives to everyone you've ever met. They want you to extort your relatives into awkward knife purchases so you can earn $375 an hour. In fairness to Vector, their knives are technically sharp and worked, but you're trying to upsell them for up to $200. It's also important to note that recruiters aggressively downplay the "you will be cold calling strangers" aspect of this. Next up is kind of an OG Scentsy. Scentsy sells like candles and wax melts, and they come attached to a $99 starter kit and an unspoken mandate to ruin every casual coffee date. Scentsy specializes in targeting demographics that can't easily say no. Military spouses, stay-at-home parents, and anyone who's been told you should turn your hobby into a business. The result is thousands of consultants barely making enough to cover the cost of their own starter kit. Corporate rakes in profits. In fact, most Scentsy reps earn less in a year than the cost of their starter kits. Every single one of these companies has a standard defense locked and loaded. But look at this one person who made it. Look at Jessica. She made 6 figures. And sure, she probably did. But one guy surviving falling out of a plane without a parachute doesn't mean you should start base jumping for profit either. Anecdotes aren't evidence, and miracles aren't business models. MLMs aren't selling you products, they're selling you a statistical hallucination where a zero point 0.1 success rate is treated like an inevitability. MLMs dangle one idea: financial independence. You can work from home, you can be your own boss, you can spend more time with your kids while also recruiting everyone at your kids' soccer practice. But the reality is most MLM participants make about 70 cents an hour, if that, which is not financial freedom. It's poverty levels. Meanwhile, the people at the very top, they're financially independent because they figured out the golden rule of capitalism. The real money isn't in the product, it's in convincing people they're one meeting away from being rich. So if MLMs are statistically doomed and objectively awful, why do they still exist? Because humans are built to crave a few things: hope, community, and the possibility of getting rich. MLMs offer all three at first, until the community turns into toxic positivity cults, and hope turns into credit card debt, and passive income turns into passive aggressively texting your college roommates about an amazing opportunity so they never speak to you again. At the end of the day, MLMs aren't really businesses, they're grief machines. Grieving lost money, lost friendships, grieving lost time spent believing that you were a hashtag girl boss CEO. And if all that sounds a little bleak, good. It's not your fault if you were targeted. It's the system's fault for monetizing hope and calling it opportunity and entrepreneurship. So the next time someone slides into your DMs with a business opportunity, just remember it's okay to say no, and it's okay to keep your money. Well, that is all I have for you today. I know I've been kind of a huge bitch this episode, but I do feel like it's warranted. I've been Delaney, and if you liked this episode, please consider liking or subscribing, and I will be back here next time to talk more about topics I can't stop thinking about. Goodbye. My sources for this episode are the FTC page, Multi-Level Marketing Businesses and Pyramid Schemes, the book Hey Hun by Emily Lynn Paulson, Understanding Multi-Level Marketing by E. Napolitano, and Wikipedia.